Good evening, everyone. So nice to see everyone. Can everyone hear me? Do you want me to turn it up a little? Let me see if I can do better. Okay, my volume is up as high as it can go. Can you hear me now? Good? Great, thank you. Sorry about the abrupt end of that beautiful song. I just couldn't figure out how to fade it professionally. But lovely to see everyone. Good evening. If we have anyone new, please later on um, unmute and say hello if you feel so moved. If not, I'm looking forward to a Sangha with everyone. And we're going to start with the land acknowledgement. Okay. Noble community, we gather here together with one another, with all humanity, and with all life on earth. We gather here together on the unceded lands, in my case, of the Bohicket, PD, and Kiowa people, and in the place where nearly half of all enslaved Africans first stepped onto American soil. We honor our land ancestors with our mindful awareness. We gather here together to deepen our solidity and renew our freshness through mindful sitting and walking, music and breathing, speaking and listening. We affirm the capacity within ourselves and all persons of every race, gender, orientation, ability, and tradition to realize peace in ourselves and peace in the world. And speaking of peace, I'll be talking about a topic tonight from Peace is Every Step, Thay's book. And I will be discussing specifically something a little different, a little modern, driving. But first, we're going to do a very quiet, unguided sitting meditation, but I'll help you all ease into it if you're feeling like I am and you need to shake out the Monday. So if everyone is comfortable, get into a position that works for your body and just get settled. And if it's comfortable for you, close your eyes. I know some people like to keep their eyes open and have a soft focus. That's perfectly fine, whatever works. I like to start with making sure that my shoulders aren't up in my ears. Let them drop. And let your hands relax. Maybe unclench your jaw. And take a few deep breaths. And it helps with these breaths, for me, if the exhalation is slightly longer than the inhalation. And after we do this a few times, you can breathe normally. To settle the mind, you might want to choose to focus on your breath. Or the sensation of air coming in and out of your nose. Or the sensation of your belly rising and falling. When your mind wanders, as it inevitably will, be gentle to yourself. And let the thoughts pass if you can, without pushing them away or without pulling them too close. I like the analogy that we are the blue sky and our thoughts are clouds, and they come and they go. We're going to sit like this for about another 22 or so minutes, so just enjoy this time that's just for you. All right, everyone. I'll give you a minute to come back to the surface of beta consciousness. Maybe some of you got to go really deep into some of those yummier, deeper brain waves. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It's all good. So I apologize that I missed a bell at the beginning of the sit. I'll do better with the walking meditation. Um, and as usual, the walking meditation is going to be about 10 minutes. And if you don't want to walk, that's fine. Sometimes I just extend my sit. If walking feels good, walk. Sometimes you just need to do some mindful stretching, whatever works for your body tonight. If you are going to walk, just remember there is absolutely nowhere to go. Nothing to do other than to be present. And if you'd like, add one of those wonderful gathas. I am home, I have arrived. And what we'll do with the bell is with one bell, we'll rise behind our chairs, then we'll bow, and then we'll walk. And then I'll call you back sort of in the reverse order or with those three bells. So let's see how I do on this one. Everybody enjoy your walk, sit, stretch, or just being. All right. Let everyone get settled. I see Pam has a furry friend with her. How nice. Okay, so tonight I'm going to be discussing driving meditation from Thay's book, Peace is Every Step. And I want you to know that I almost didn't make Sangha tonight because my car died in a parking lot at the grocery store. So on a night when I'm going to be talking about cars and driving, I found myself in a parking lot with a grumpy teenager and no jumper cables because of a mistake. So many good human moments tonight, so much learning. Um, but here I am, skidded in, and I get to say that I really do think the divine has a sense of humor because, wow, I'm going to talk cars. And I don't know if all of you had a chance to read this very short passage. If you don't, that's fine. Um, I'm going to tell you that Thai starts off this little segment of the book telling us that sometimes people use driving as a form of escape. And he points out that wherever we go, we cannot escape the self. And he asks readers to consider going for a walk instead. And I found this really funny because when I want a form of escape, driving is not something that I would even remotely consider. I will choose a book if I want to escape reality. If I want to binge something and get really escapist, it is going to be Netflix, it's going to be Spotify, it's going to be the New York Times puzzles. But wow, it is not going to be getting in a car. Um, so I'll take great pains to avoid driving. I have been known to try to make a dinner out of stale celery rather than go to the grocery store when I'm tired and get in the car again. But tonight I went, and we know how that went. So driving is not something that I like to do. Um, I often fantasize about living in Europe, and that is not because of the medieval art and the wine. It is because of trains. I really, really want to live somewhere someday that has a train culture. That's how much I really dislike driving. So, of all the double-edged swords there are in modern life, driving is for me the alleged convenience that I struggle with the most. I detest it more than folding laundry, which is saying something, and more than cleaning out that gunky little filter in the dishwasher. So, um, I chose tonight's topic because somehow I have created a life that is incredibly dependent upon driving, on what Ty calls a task of modern society. So it is my personal belief that my soul chose to incarnate as a human in the United States, where the car is king. So of all the places on the entire planet that my soul could have chose an incarnation, I believe that it chose the United States where the car is king and where perhaps more than any place on planet Earth, we have a love affair of burning gas. So I thought it was interesting when I thought about the culture of car in America that Americans will literally wax poetic and create songs about their first cars. I think it's interesting that in the United States, you can get married in a car at a drive-through chapel in Las Vegas. You can end your life in a hearse. You can even be born in a car. When I lived in Colorado, I lived in a town that was an hour away from the nearest hospital. And in this town, this little town, there were lots of kids named Dallas. And the reason is these kids were named Dallas because they were born in cars on Dallas Divide, which is a mountain pass on the way to the hospital. So if you knew there was a kid in the town named Dallas because they had been born in a car. So if you've grown up in the United States like me, it is likely that cars have played an outsized role in your life. A driver's license for me growing up in rural small town Pennsylvania meant absolute freedom. And I did use a car to escape reality when I was a teenager, for sure. But today, a car feels honestly like anything but freedom for me. The average commute time in the United States, I found out, is about an hour, but I have known people who've commuted as much as 3 hours. That's a lot of your life spent in a car. So I want to stop here and just say that if you are a car buff, a gearhead, a motorhead, I am not throwing shade at you. I am not judging you. I have passions for plenty of things that people do not understand, like staring into trees with binoculars for hours on end and Chinese tile games. So if you love cars, I think that's wonderful, wonderful. But this particular subject struck a nerve with me because if cars are like cilantro, love it or hate it, I'm definitely in the latter camp. I buy my cars based on Consumer Reports, maintenance records, pretty sexy. Um, I maintain my car, but I never detail it. I don't apply stickers on my car. I don't personalize my car. And much to my teenagers' chagrin, I only vacuum my car when the dog hair becomes just absolutely unsanitary. So, and I'd like to tell you that my first car was definitely not my love. It was an orange Chevy Vega with rust spots that I bought from my sister for $500. And there was zero chance that I could look cool in this car. And to be truthful, I still have nightmares sometimes that I'm in a snowy parking lot and I find this car and it won't start. So I don't know. Maybe tonight's car not starting had to do with all these thoughts running to my head. Energy is powerful, people. Maybe I just planted the seed and somehow my car got the message. But today I find driving especially stressful because I, in particular, do something that makes other drivers hate me, and that's I drive the speed limit. Um, I'm not a speedy driver. I drive like an old lady. I will not go above the speed limit unless I'm absolutely forced. And I struggle with the hostility, speed, and aggression of today's drivers. Um, in my humble opinion, I think some of the hostility out there today is just further evidence of what sometimes I think is the breakdown of civilization. Since moving to South Carolina, I can't count how many times I've been flipped off. And I even have South Carolina plates. Recently, I parked in a parking lot next to a giant jacked up truck that was literally covered with assault rifle stickers. And over its gas tank was an image of an extended middle finger and the words gas guzzler. But I'm not going to blame this on my adopted state of South Carolina. I think it's far from alone in what I'm going to call driving machismo. I was in Boston not long ago, which, by the way, is the city that has the notoriety of having the worst drivers in all of America. And I was driving in Boston when I saw something dangling from the back of a pickup truck that I didn't know what it was. And my kids had to tell me what it was. And it turned out to be decorative fake testicles. I'm not making this up. This is a thing. I looked it up on Amazon. They sell for about $40 in case that special person on your Christmas list needs testicles for his or her truck. And they're called truck nuts. So if you're interested, that's what they're called. But where am I going with this? I'm going with this to tell you that in addition to being incarnated in the most car-centric country, I have to take full responsibility in choosing to drive a lot. I live on Johns Island where nothing is close to me. It's a full podcast to get to West Ashley, to go to Costco, to go to Target. My grocery store, the affordable one, is not nearby. So most of my drives are spent on a beautiful road called Bohicket Road. It's a two-lane road lined with live oaks that are just absolutely beautiful and unforgiving. And the truck is just filled with cement mixers, trucks, high-speed vehicles, the occasional absolutely crazy moped driver or suicidal cyclist. So it is, you cannot blink on Bohicket Road. Um, and I choose to live here. There is a running joke about living here, and it's the sentence, "I'm sorry I'm late. I live on John's Island." So no one is going anywhere fast on John's Island, but everybody is going to try. So there is a big mea culpa in all of this, and that is, as a recent transplant, I am the cause of the traffic here, and I know that. So again, a lot of my driving troubles are completely my own making, and yet they cause me great suffering. So the point is, I think tonight I really needed, or when I saw this driving meditation, I really needed to see this, because ask and you shall receive, and there it was in Thay's book. I'm going to read you the verse that Thay wrote about driving in the book, which looks, it's just like a little poem. It goes like this: "Before starting the car, I know where I am going. The car and I are one. The car goes fast, and I go fast." Well, being a book nerd, this completely reminded me of a 1960s children's book called Go Dogs Go. And in that book, a little excerpt is, "The light is red now. Stop, dog, stop." The point of both passages, I think, is super simple. Be a conscious driver. Bring consciousness and mindfulness to all that you do. You know, in many previous Monday nights, we've talked in this Sangha about bringing mindfulness to any task: breathing, sitting, walking, eating. But I'm going to say that I think when it comes to driving, this is especially important because this task is particularly stressful if you're me. Maybe you're a super confident driver and it's not stressful, but also because driving is dangerous. We literally are responsible for each other's lives when we're on the road. And sometimes when I'm driving, I think about that. I think about the guy in the cement mixer on Bohicket Road, and I think, thank you for not looking at your phone. Thank you. Thank you very much for not looking at your phone right now. Um, so this responsibility is also why my heart races when I see red lights. And I've seen as many as 5 cars run a single red light. They do not stop, dog, stop. I mean, this is really terrifying to me. And I think this, I don't know, maybe, I think this is a trend. I don't remember people always running red lights to the degree that they do now. I just feel like maybe more people decide that a red light is a suggestion more than ever. Um, anyway, Thay suggests in this section of the book that when we see red lights, we smile and we breathe. He says, breathing in, I am calm in my body. Breathing out, I smile. Go, dogs, go. The light is green now. I can't stop thinking that book when I hear Thay doing this. Our beloved Vietnamese monk also noted that when he was visiting Montreal, the license plates there all said, and I'm going to butcher the French here, "Je me souviens," which means I remember. And this French saying for him was a bell of mindfulness. He would read that and he would remember and use it as a reminder to breathe when he was in the car. So I often read bumper stickers and stickers on the back of windows of the cars in front of me. It's not calming, but it does keep me very present. A funny one I saw on John's Island recently was "Hot girls hit curbs." Look, I know that's not very feminist, but I actually did laugh out loud when I saw that. I'll take it. I'll take a laugh when I'm in the car, even if it's a cheap laugh. So, but my personal favorite bumper sticker of all time, and I will go out of my way to try to find a funny one, was one that just read, US out of Pangea. So Pangea was a supercontinent that existed 20 million years ago. So I thought to myself, that driver is a fun flavor of weird, like probably a really interesting person at a cocktail party. And I just humanized the driver for me. I just thought, you're a quirky bird. I think I love you. So anyway, where I have spiritual work to do, and my big challenge is when I read political bumper stickers, and there are a lot of them these days. So these bumper stickers are a very quick trip for me out of what we have called in this Sangha the zone of tolerance. A political bumper sticker will sometimes just take me right out of that zone. So it is my work to try to breathe and smile when I see political bumper stickers that are, not my team. So there's my work, right? Back when I drove my orange Vega back in 1980 something, I dealt with my driving stress by chain smoking menthol cigarettes and blasting FM radio. So today I listen to fitness and baking podcasts. Yes, I know those are contradictory. That's totally my personality. Um, but as I contemplated this discussion, I realized that I actually do have a bit of a practice about attempting to stay mindful and calm in the car, and that I do take deep breaths. And I think this Sangha has been very good at teaching me that. And I relax my hands when I find that I'm white knuckling the wheel. I unclench my jaw. I remember to check my mirrors. My kids think it's really funny that if I ever do mutter something at another driver, I kind of backtrack. They think this is really funny. So I'll say something like, where the heck is your turn signal? And then I'll quickly say, well, we all forget to do that, don't we? So I try to be pretty kind. I don't scream at other drivers. That's a small win. Um, but the most important practice I have when driving is to try to remember that the other drivers are people. And one of my favorite Christmas songs is a really little known Christmas song by a British singer named Chris Rea. And it's called Driving Home for Christmas. And I'm just going to read out loud just short lyrics here. The song goes, I'm top to toe in headlights. I've got red lights on the run. I'm driving home for Christmas to get my feet on holy ground. And after these lines, he pauses and the music changes a bit and he sings, I take a look at the driver next to me. He's just the same. He's just the same. And I realize that if I can remember that the driver next to me is just the same, I can relax a bit. Because even the guy with the jacked up truck and the assault rifle stickers is still trying to get home to someone he loves. I hope he's getting home to someone he loves. And he's no happier than I am that he's late, that the drawbridge is up at the Wapu River. He's probably even less happy that he's stuck behind me in my little boring, practical little Nissan with absolutely no bumper stickers to read. And I was going exactly 55 miles an hour. So he's just the same. He has his own frustrations and his own opinions, which he's passionate about. So Ty says that the next time you are caught in a traffic jam, don't fight it. Sit back and smile to yourself. A smile of compassion and loving kindness. So on that note, I'm really curious as to how you all water the seeds of kindness when you're driving, or if you don't drive a lot, or driving isn't stressful for you, how you stay mindful with modern tasks that are stressful. So thank you for listening and in advance for sharing if you feel like sharing. And maybe someone will turn the recording off.